Hi, I'm going to show you how to get your grades out of that black hole gradebook in Google Classroom and into Skyward. There's no direct import, but we can make things a bit easier if you're using Google Classroom a lot for digital assignments. I'm recording this on a Mac, but don't worry, it's going to look very similar if you're using a PC. If you're on a Chromebook, things might look slightly different, but the process is the same. We're going to start in Skyward, and you can see I've created an assignment here. I've set everything up the way I want it, picked the class I'm assigning it to, and I'm going to give it a name. Now I can see that assignment showing up in my gradebook with no scores. Let's say I actually want to do this as a digital assignment using Classroom. I'm going to hop over into Classroom and create the assignment there too. I'm giving it the same name, so I know what I'm doing on both sides. I could attach a document if I wanted to, assign a due date, the things I would normally do in Classroom, and of course I'd describe the assignment well or give instructions to my students. For our purposes, none of that really matters at the moment, but what I do want is to make sure the point value for the assignment is the same because Google Classroom defaults to 100 points. So I'm going to open up the assignment and make sure it's 65 points, just like my Skyward version of this assignment. So, in order to import the scores from this Google Classroom assignment into my corresponding Skyward assignment, I need to have some scores to import. So I'm just going to pretend that my students did this. Looks like they all did pretty well. To show you how this works, I want to have a score for every student, and I need to be sure I return the assignment, because that's what's going to generate our list of scores that we're going to import into Skyward. So I've gone ahead and returned that. Now I'm going to go up to my little gear or sprocket here in the upper right and generate a spreadsheet that will have my scores in it. Now I have some options here. I can copy all grades to Google Sheets, which will make a file in my Google Drive with all the grades from this class, not just this assignment. I could do that if I'm on a Chromebook or I don't have Excel or if I just really don't like Excel. Or I can generate a CSV file, and that's just a different type of spreadsheet file. I can choose to download all the grades in my classroom if I'm catching up a bit and have a lot to import to Skyward at once. But I'm just doing this one assignment, so I'm going to choose download these grades as CSV. So these are downloaded, and really the trickiest thing here is being sure you're familiar with where your computer downloads its files. You'll need to go find this file in a minute to open it. So I'm going to open it in Excel. These are my Google grades here in this spreadsheet. Now you'll see the format this spreadsheet is in. It is not what Skyward wants to see when it imports things, so we need to generate a file from Skyward to give us the right format. So I'm going into Skyward, into my gradebook, and I'm going to choose Advanced Import Export Assignments from this menu. Now that takes me into this screen. I have to be careful with my checkboxes here so I can be sure to locate the assignment I'm looking for. I happen to know this one isn't due yet because I set the due date for a few days hence, so I'm going to click that checkbox and there's my assignment, Google 5 right there. All I do is check that box by my assignment and then I'm going to click the Create File for Score Entry button. That downloads the file, and I'm going to open that up. Now here in Excel I have my Google file and the one that Skyward just generated side by side. It's important to keep them straight. Obviously the one with no scores is the Skyward one. I've already scored the assignment in Google, so I'm just going to select and copy the scores from the Google spreadsheet, then go over here and make sure I have it lined up properly so the right student gets the right score. There we go. And I'm going to paste, and there are my scores. Now I'm going to save this file, and now all I have to do is go back into Skyward. I'm right there in that same screen I just left where I downloaded the file from, but I'm going to go to the bottom where it says Select a CSV file to import from, and click the Choose File button. I'm going to navigate to that Skyward file that I just pasted scores into and saved, then I'm going to select that and click the Import Scores from File button. I'll know if it worked when it tells me that I successfully imported the assignment scores, and there they all are. I can go back to my main screen for this class in my gradebook and see that it's assigned the correct scores for that assignment to each student. So this might have seemed like it took a while, but if you do it once a day for each class in which you have digital assignments, it probably won't take very long, and you'll get very fast at it the more times you do it. I hope that's helpful. Have a great day and happy grading!